The first game, the first real online game, well, it all began maybe with Doom or something like that. Well, actually, or like my first game that I wanted was basically Dungeon Master, um, which was a very simple game. And I even said, well, can't you just use like slides, basically, and then key it into to the arrow key movement. So you move forward, and then you have a slide, and then a slide, and then a slide. Basically, like pictures, kind of like stop motion for a computer game. So it looks like there's depth, but there isn't really depth more than you just basically go to frame 3, go to frame 4, go to frame 6, go to frame 7, go to frame 8, and you could do like a 2D that looks 3D game like this way. So anyway, Dungeon Master was a very, very simple game, and my idea was basically to use like stop motion, or basically just key it into the arrow keys to where basically you go slide 3, slide 4, slide 5, slide 8, slide 9, slide 10, basically just like stop motion kind of thing, and then just reusing the slides. Basically, it's a 2D game pretending to be a 3D game, and you just reuse the slides and all that other stuff. There's no real graphics, there's no real nothing. It's just basically you're looking at pretty much painting, basically. It's a very simple game, though. Very easy to do, basically, and was Dungeon Master, It was actually really kind of complicated, but it could run on almost anything, and basically it's a slide game, pretty much. Anyway, that was my idea for basically doing a 2D game that looks like a 3D game. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, and there's computer programmers that live and breathe this stuff. There are real computer programmers and real hackers out there that will look at me and laugh at me and basically say, I live and breathe computers and technology and code. Anyway, yes, I know, you're awesome, spiffy, cool, and mighty, and all that other stuff. I'm just basically the owner, the once upon a time computer, and basically once upon a time real person of Star, or Lucifer. Like I said, in Europe I was known as SSL. In America I'm known as LS, or Star Lucifer, or Lucifer Star. Two sides of the same person, basically. Anyway, it doesn't, and I was also known as Ellis. I'm also known as Brian, and many other things. Anyway, basically, I am the real Lucifer Star, pretty much. It's my name, Lucifer and Star. Anyway, a long time ago, I was just known as Star, and then I was known as Lucifer as I added the Lucifer part to it. So SLLS, what's the difference? It doesn't really make a difference. It's still me. Anyway, eventually people started doing identity theft and started doing Lusifer Star or something like that. I don't really know. Anyway, I don't really care. And then came along Rodney and everything else. But I believed in computers and I wanted games. Also, there are many board games and other things, possibly even Candyland and some other games that were actually my creation, or not my creations, but things I wanted done. Germany played a huge role in everything, and so did Ireland, like I said. Although toys and other things like that was mostly Germans. There's lots of German toys that were made. Like I said, I had this rule where if a toy sat in a shop for more than a year, it would be given away or sold for discount or something like that. Or given to children and orphans, basically. Anyway, it gets all complicated and gets all to be this giant mess, and a whole bunch of people run around at some point in time thinking that they know the truth, but they're actually just lying. Like I said, there's a lot of things like basically Richard Nixon and John McCain and everybody else basically creating a new lie and blah, 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 all kinds of boring stuff. Anyway, though, but your existence has very much been modified and annoyed and basically corrupted and destroyed and everything else, and I'm just trying to set things straight, basically, so you understand. Anyway, I'm Lucifer Star, and basically Rodney and a bunch of other people tried to hide me, tried to kidnap me, tried to hold me hostage, tried to shoot me in the face with a shotgun 34 times, and all kinds of other ways. It was very, very messy. Not to mention I was nuked and also killed by Abraham Lincoln at some point in time. And then he went off to give the Gettysburg Address while I died at a party or something like that. Basically a small child. Pretty much stuck in an upstairs room and basically dying from a fever or something. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, though, it's all complicated and all very annoying, as I am basically Lucifer Star, the creator of 1.5's exoskeletons and also the human race, endoskeletons, and everything else. And like 99 trillion years old. as I created this galaxy and the galaxy coming towards us 99 trillion years ago. Now, I was wondering about whether or not that was actually true, that where's my other galaxy? It's supposed to be coming here, you know, or doing a galactic flyby at some point in time. Or basically galactic pancake. It's a lot of scientists and a lot of other people don't really know. You know, it's supposed to be coming N long, which might make it actually kind of hard to see. I don't really know. I'm not really sure. I don't really care. Anyway, though, it doesn't really matter. And between Richard Nixon, John McCain, and Rodney, and Rick Bush, and a lot of other people, it became such a fucking nightmare that it's ridiculous. Anyway, like I say, there's also other stuff like during the Red Dead Redemption stuff, basically. Pretty much a lot of programmers were doing things, and then they realized that there's about $150 million or $150 billion that were related to these guilds, basically, online guilds, basically, and they had quite a bit of money as people were, you know, they produced all this little freeware stuff like guns and stuff like that for the game, and then people would buy them for like 75 cents or $1 or something like that, and it was quite a bit of money, like $500 million or $1 billion or something like that, and then the programmers started killing each other off, or somebody was killing the other ones off for the money. Anyway, like I said, online gaming and stuff like that began with the chat boards, and where you'd anyway, originally they were free or something like that, and then but there were also chat boards you'd have to pay to enter or something like that. Blah blah blah. I don't really know. Anyway, though, I don't really care. That was my brother and stuff like that. You know, that knew about all that stuff. Anyway, I told him that eventually it's going to be more than text and all that other stuff. And eventually, you know, and then there was, of course, Ultima Online, which was a huge game, and basically getting that done. And basically there's all kinds of stuff involving that. And that was a hugely successful game and basically made a lot of money from online gaming. A lot of people thought that online gaming was basically a waste of time or money, but lots of people like to talk together and like to do little things, and it adds environment. And not to mention, it's a lot of money a lot of money involved, as everyone's paying $5 or $30 or $10 or even $2 per month to basically play these online games, which is more than enough money to pay the 100 or 1,000 programmers it takes to actually keep these games running. Anyway, though, there's Ultima Online, which was a huge game, and there's lots of other games that are huge games and make lots of money as things progressed. Anyway, I don't really care. Ask some computer programmers or some supposed hackers or whatever. It doesn't really matter, as basically the life became a nightmare for a lot of different people. Anyway, as if White Star submarines wasn't worry enough, there's also everything else. And then there's also me, also known as Brian, taking a vacation, basically. Anyway, I'm a builder of real things and more than just online games stuff, basically. Anyway, yeah. So this is your existence in a nutshell. About 4 or 5 different types of exoskeletons, not to mention spiders, were designed by me or designed by others. I'm not exactly sure. It gets all complicated, as basically I am your creator, or the creator of your life form type. You know, and created females and males and everything else. And other people tried to do all kinds of weird stuff, like creating the A-frame humans, which are basically like little bitty legs and big muscular tops like gorillas. And they called them gorilla warriors because they look, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It was an ugly, disgusting body type, basically. Anyway, whatever. I don't really care. Go ask Richard Nixon or John McCain or the U.S. Congress that was congressing. We might as well have called them fornicatists. Because basically that's all they did was fornicate, have sex, and basically lie about stuff. Like I said, Lockheed really didn't do anything. It was actually something else. Like the Skunk Works was actually a sewage treatment company, and basically they created a lot of outhouses and sold them and made a lot of money that way. And it was where basically Richard Nixon and John McCain were getting their checks basically from in the 1940s and 1950s. And then of course you have the Hells Angels and the bikers and everything else. And I don't really care. But that is Lusifer White Star's house and Lusifer White Star's DC building, where DC Motors used to be made, and a deep underground mine. That goes all the way from the docks, or the pier, all the way out to the White House and to the Washington DC building, and 2 other side tracks, basically. and one at 3,000 feet deep, and one at 7,000 feet deep, if I remember right. So anyway, whatever. Good luck with that. Meanwhile, the people tell me that I'm bankrupt and basically I'm losing my house, even though I named America and own America. So anyway, lots of annoying people did unite. Whatever. Enjoy your existence. My name is Lusifer Star. My name is copyrighted, by the way. Or Star Lucifer. Anyway, but there's lots of stars around the world. Anyway, basically people, like I said, they just worked for me. They weren't actually related to me. So anyway, but that's where the name Star comes from.